let's start our bit of 4 to 5 minutes.
Yeah, ma'am, sure.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. So in last lecture, we have completed the some topics, two topics here from our GATE syllabus. That is your combination and sequential circuit. In that, we covered the flip-flop number systems, then K-map, SOP form, then POS form also, and various types of the equation. Various types of laws which is used for the solving the algebraic equations. So it is covered in your combinational logic circuit. From this combinational logic circuit, you get the questions in your gate syllabus also. Then next is your sequential logic circuit. In the sequential logic circuit, we complete the flip flop, SR flip flop, JK flip flop, then D flip flop, T flip flop. From that flip flop, how to design register, how to design the counters. It is a part of the syllabus also, but we went for only what do you mean by the register? What do you mean by the counter? How to use register counters and sequential circuit in your in according to your gate, how to represent any counters by using that some points which is used in your gate syllabus. Okay, so these two topics we covered in your previous lecture. Now we are going for the multiplexer. In this lecture we are going for the multiplexer. In this multiplexer, we are going to teach how to design multiplexer and how to get the output equation, how to design the combination logic circuit by using the algebraic equation and various types of multiplexer. Then in demultiplexer also similar way is procedure. Just it is a opposite relation, just like the multiplexer. Then we having the Smith trigger. In this Smith trigger actually are of the two types, but in this because of the time sake, I am going to teach you only inverting type of Smith trigger. This is the relation are same for the inverting and non-inverting. Actually, it is related to the op-amp application amplifier. There are the various types of circuit by using the op-amp, but in your syllabus there is only Smith trigger. Then sampling and hold circuit, of course, whenever we are talking about the power electronics or electronic circuit, they required some sampling and holding circuit, which is the essential requirement for the circuit. If we want the output to sample or hold for the some time, then there is a some uh, switch or some triggering possibility in the power electronic circuit also. Then A to D and D to A converter. Okay, this converter is usually used in your mobiles also, in your various power electronic circuits also. Then VCO and timers. I'm already told you timer IC 555 is in your syllabus. So IC 555 actually used in three multiplexer. This that one is your astable, multi-stable, and bistable multi vibrators. Okay, so this is your content for for your gate syllabus. Now I'm going for your only multiplexer, demultiplexers, mid trigger, sample, and VCO and timer circuit. Wait a minute, my voice is audible.
Yes, ma'am.
Wait a minute. The last time we covered this 3-bit asynchronous counter. Now multiplexer. Okay, multiplexer is a data selector line because in multiplexer there are a number of inputs and we have the only one output. So definition of multiplexer is like this. is a device that allows digital information from several sources to be rotated into a single line for the transmission over that the line to a common distinction. Of course, I already told you in multiplexer there are the number of inputs and we having only one output. So we required selector line for that. For that's why the name is data selector line. The multiplexer is also called as data selector lines. There are the several inputs line. Some selected line less than the number of input lines also are there. Then single output are present in your multiplexer. If there is a n data input lines and n line n selected lines, then the relation for the selector lines and input lines is like this: 2 raised to power n is equals to n. Of course, this relation is required for the designing purpose of multiplexer. So from by using the number of input is equals to n, we can get the output. We can calculate how many number of selector line be required or not. For example, if your number of inputs are 4, so then the relation is like that: m is equals to log to the power 2 and n log to the power 2. So by using that relation, we can calculate m is equals to what is the possibility of the selector lines. So the M is a selector line, so we require the number of selector lines also for designing purpose of multiplexer, and according to the number of input, we are using the number of selector lines. Then the functional block diagram for your multiplexer is like this. Functional block diagram of multiplexer. Of course, I've already told you there are the number of inputs. You can see here the diagram. In diagram, I O to the I n minus 1. That means you can use many number of inputs, and that inputs can be reflected in your output depending on the selector line. Means what? If you are giving order to selector line, we have to you have to output 0. In that time, that selector line is goes to I0, and we get the output according to the selector lines to the output. Okay, so this is the main function of demultiplexer. And by using this demultiplexer configuration, we can design number of multiplexer for the for your for the power electronics in the use of the power electronic circuit. So next is your multiplexer type. I already told you. You can see here one is a constant in all the four types. One is representing your output. Okay. When I am talking 2 raised to power 2 into 1 multiplexer, in that time only we required one selector line, because I'm already told you the relation between the number of lines and number of inputs and number of selector lines. So this is the relation, and this is one of the big advantage of our multiplexer. So we having only one output at a time, and we get the output according to the our digital circuit diagrams. Okay, then next is your 4 is to 1 multiplexer. Of course, there are the two selector lines. You can use that relation to raised to power m is equals to n, and you can calculate the selector lines for the designing purpose of the multiplexer. Then m is to 1. Of course, 3 multiplexer and 2 is 16 is to 1. So we required 4 selector lines. Okay, so this is the types of the multiplexer which is used for designing purpose of your multiplexer circuit. Now, application of multiplexer communication circuit system. Of course, I am talking digital electronics, so there is a big use of multiplexer, because many of the systems required number of inputs, but we required only one output. In that time, we can use the multiplexer. Of course, the efficiency can be increased because the selector line are used to select the input, and we get the output accordingly to that. That's why the efficiency is increases, that the selector lines work as a fast operation, and the system also not complicated, because the enable line and selector line are used for the designing multiplexer. So there is no confusion between the selector line and the output. Directly communication, just like the open circuit is a open loop combination is there. That's why the efficiency is more than the computer memories. Of course, each and every computer memories. we are using the multiplexer, it reduces the copper lines to connect the memory to the other part of the computer. Okay, so this is the application of multiplexer. There are the many number of applications for the multiplexer also, but some of the applications are here. Now next is your yes 2 raised to 1 multiplexer. I'm taking one of the example to design the multiplexer by using some relations. Okay, I'm going to explain you that also. Suppose I want to design 2 raised to 1 multiplexer. Okay, so one of the example, this one is 2 raised to 1 multiplexer. Okay, this is your 2 raised to 1 multiplexer. There is a 2 input. I already told you 2 is representing input and 1 is representing output. Okay, this is your 2 raised to 1 input and output relationship. Then here is a enable line. Actually, this enable line is work as if enable is equals to 0, in that time system get not operated, and if e is equals to 1, enable line is equals to 1, in that time the system mux is operating. Okay, mux get operated. So this is the basic circuit diagram for your 2 raised to 1 multiplexer. Then you can see here two input are applied here, and only one output is taking out by the mux. Okay, multiplex is so called as mux. So here is a I am drawing by using the circuit diagram. I am try to draw the truth table. Here is a truth table. This is your truth table. Here is a enable line, then there is a selector line, and Y is the output. Okay. So Y is the output. There is a combination of 1 and 0. Of course, when you are talking digital electronics, there is a combination of 1 and zeros. So you can see here E is equals to 0, means enable line is equals to 0. In that time, we don't have to see the what is the value for the selector line. We have to don't care. Okay, we have using don't care because it is 1 or 0. The output is 0 because the enable line is 0, that's why the output is also 0. Next is whenever the E is equals to 1, so in that time if I am giving 0, I want I0 as a output 0 0. So sorry, 0 only. So 0 is related to the I0. In that time the selector line is connected to the your I0, and we get the output Y is equals to I0. Okay, that's why I'm written here Y is equals to I0. Then again, if we put E is equals to 0 and S is equals to 1, so the output is 0. That's why I'm not considering E is equals to 1 now. I'm considering the only for E is equals to 1 and the S is equals to 1, means selector line is equals to 1. That means selector line is connected to I1 and the output is equals to I0. From this truth table, we get the equation y is equals to E0 S complement I0 plus E S S is equals to 0. Okay, how it is? So everyone see here, please. This line is, please see here. This is the equation not written because y is equals to 0. So we don't require any equation for that purpose. Please see here. The equation for this is y is equals to, of course, E is 1. So E, we are writing SOP form. That's why we not, whenever is 0 is present, in that time we are taking the complement. If 1 is present, we don't require any complement. So S is equals to complement because here is a S is equals to 0. So S complement, then I is 0. Okay, next is Y is equals to, again Y is equals to, again now from the for the next line the equation is like this: I E, then S, because S is equals to 1, then I1. Okay, so this is the equation for your by using your truth table. By using this equation, we can design the combinational circuit diagram. Wait a minute, I'm going to design that combinational circuit diagram also. So the equation is like that: y is equals to E S complement I0 plus E S I1. So we can take the common E and S complement I0 plus S I1. By using AND gate and OR gate, we have to design this equation. So we require two AND gates, of course, because there is a two multiplication product. Okay, then I0, of course we required S, so we required S complement, that's why I'm taking NOT gate. I0 S, then of course we required S to the next, and I1. So, and E is also required, so both the AND gate is connected to the E. Okay, now there is a multiplication, so that's why we take the one OR gate. Sorry, there is addition, so required OR gate, and we get the output equation y is equals to this equation. So by implementing this type of equation, you can design your circuit diagram of multiplexer or demultiplexer also. So that's it. Not please try to design 4 is to 1 or 16 is to 1 or 8 is to 1 multiplexer also by similar procedure. Now, next is the demultiplexer. Demultiplexer is opposite to the multiplexer, because here the name of the demultiplexer, other name of the demultiplexer is data distributor. Okay, data distributor is why, because there is only one input and the number of output are present in the demultiplexer. That's why the name is also data distributor. It distributes the data in several number of lines at the output. So single data input lines are present here. In multiplexer, there are the number of inputs of data line are present there. So there are the several output line in demultiplexer. Next is, if there are the n data output line and m selected line. Similar way, the relation are same for the multiplexer and demultiplexer, and by using that relation, we can design our circuit diagram for your demultiplexer. This is the functional block diagram of the demultiplexer. So data input, we have provided data input. I already told you that there is only one data input, and according to that data input, we getting the output for the demultiplexer. So in this functional diagram, you can see here data input is only one, and there are the number of inputs present in the demultiplexer. So there are also several types of demultiplexer. 1 is to 2, 1 is to 4, 1 is to 4, 1 is to 8, and 1 is to 16. According to that, there is a selector line are present for the designing purpose of demultiplexer. Here is I already told you, it is the opposite to the multiplexer. So you can see here only one input line are present, and at the output there are the number of output line are present. So this is the type of the demultiplexer. One of the example for the one demultiplexer, 1 is to 2 demultiplexer, only we required one selector line and one enable line. Each and every multiplexer and demultiplexer required selector line and and enable lines. Okay, please remember that each and every multiplexer and demultiplexer required enable and selector lines. Okay, but the selector line are depending upon the number of inputs line. Okay, from that we can calculate the we can calculate the selector lines. So here is only one input, and we want two outputs. So I'm taking I as an input, E is the enable line, S0 is the selector line, and Y0 and Y1 is your output lines. So you can see here a truth table. I'm already told you, if enable is equals to 0, so the output for the demultiplexer or multiplexer is 0. Okay. Similar way, you can see here the enable line is 0. If enable line is equals to 0, 0, the output is 0. Okay, and similar way, you can see here, if enable is equals to 1, in that time s is equals to 0 means what? I 0 are present in the circuit, so selector line is connected to the I0. Okay, I0, and if s is equals to 1, the selector line is connected to I. So like this we get the truth table for the multiplexer and demultiplexer. So the by using the basic knowledge of algebraic equation, we have to write down the equation y0 is equals to what is the equation y0 is equals to e, of course e is equals to 1, s complement because s is equals to s0, and I because I is present in I naught. So equation is like that. Similarly y1 is equals to e s0 I1 by using the similar properties of the Boolean equation. Then how to draw your multiplexer or demultiplexer by using the gates, basic gates. So you having the two equation y0 and y1. Okay, so y0 is equals to y0 is equals to e s naught I, and y1 is equals to e s naught I. Okay, so we required three inputs e I s naught. So e, of course here is a y is equals to y is equals to y0 is equals to this equation. So the input for the e is connected to the y0, then s complement, that's why I'm connected not gate here, then this is connected to the y0, then I we require, that's why I is connected to the y0. Similar way I1 is designed. So we can design multiplexer, number of multiplexer by using the algebraic equation for the sake of our मतलब जैसे बोलेंगे वैसे डिजाइन कर सकते हो बाय यूजिंग एनी इक्वेशन, बाय यूजिंग एनी टाइप ऑफ मल्टीप्लेक्सर. Okay, so this is your demultiplexer and multiplexer. In your of course in the gate point of view, there is a question how many number of selector line required for 1:2, how many number of input required for multiplexer and demultiplexer, what is the input output for the 1:2 or 1:4. Okay, or if, or also there is a so they also told you if e is equals to 0, then what is the output for your the demultiplexer or multiplexer. These types of question are occur in your gate examination. Next is of course mid trigger. In Smith trigger, I'm already told you there we have now some idea about the op-amp also. Actually, op-amp also are designed in two to three types. Just like 741 IC is in the is used as a op-amp for designing purpose, for designing many number of applications. For example, Smith trigger, for example, ZCD, for example, comparator. Okay, these two to three types are used for designing purpose of the Smith trigger. Sorry, op-amp. Okay, basically 741 IC is used for the Smith trigger, and then comparator and your that and ZCD. Okay, and ZCD stand for the zero crossing detector. Whenever we require zero as an output, in that time we can use the ZCD. ZCD as the applications of the op-amp. So the one of the example of op-amp is Smith trigger. Op-amp, Smith trigger is also classified into two types, which one is your positive feedback and negative feedback. Actually, op-amp is classified into two types, inverting and non-inverting. Then that inverting and non-inverting are all again classified into open loop and closed loop configuration. And that open loop, of course open loop configuration is simple, input is given, we get the output. But in a in a closed loop configuration, we having classification just like positive feedback and negative feedback. Okay, so in Smith trigger we have to study about only positive or negative feedback, or inverting or non-inverting feedback. Sorry, non-inverting and inverting comparator. Okay, or Smith trigger. So basic diagram of comparator, I think so everyone know. So comparator circuit with the positive feedback are called as a Smith trigger. Comparator consists of actually two supply. One is the positive supply, one is a negative supply. Then we get the output for both the supply. It is in the square wave form. Of course, we providing sine wave and we get the negative, square wave as an output. So the advantage of this op-amp is like that. If we require square wave output, so by using the op-amp, we get the output as square wave. So there are the two stable state. One is V saturation plus V saturation. Of course, when you are talking the op-amp, there are the two limits or two references. One is your positive V saturation and next is your negative V saturation. That's why this circuit is called at the bistable circuit. Okay, bistable circuit इसको ही इसी वजह से कहा जाता है. Okay, then it is a square wave generator. I'm already told you we giving the input as a sine wave and we get the output as a square wave. That's why the name also Schmitt trigger is name it as a Schmitt trigger is also square wave generator. Then comparator and ZCD are not provided any hysteresis loop or hysteresis formation in is not present in the comparator and Schmitt trigger. Sorry, comparator and ZCD. But in Schmitt trigger, it is we get the output as a hysteresis loop. Okay, which we already learned in your basic electrical engineering or machines. Okay, so that hysteresis loop we can get in your Schmitt trigger also. So this is the basic idea about your Schmitt trigger. Okay, Schmitt trigger definition is like this. The output voltage changes its state when either input voltage exceeds certain voltage. Means what? Certain voltage means what? Upper threshold voltage or lower threshold voltage. Okay, it depends on your. It depends on only upper and lower threshold voltage. According to that, the output gets saturated or plus V saturated or minus V saturated. Also, the Schmitt trigger is also called as the regenerative comparator because we are giving the output again to the input. We are comparing output with input. Just like in control system, there is a closed loop system. So in closed loop system, actually one feedback is provided. Similar way, Schmitt trigger also having one feedback loop for regenerative comparison. That's why name it as the regenerative comparison circuit. This is the inverting Schmitt trigger. I am already told you there are the two types of the Schmitt trigger. One is your non-inverting or one is your inverting. How to decide it is inverting and how to decide it is non-inverting? Please see here. Here is a supply is given to the negative side. That's why the name is inverting Schmitt trigger. So name is that's why the name is inverting Schmitt trigger because the at the output we get the 180-degree phase shift of the square wave generator. So that's why the name is inverting also. You can see here V naught is applied to the negative, okay, negative terminal. That is second terminal according to 741 IC. Then there is a positive terminal, and that pin is nothing but your pin number 3. Pin number 3 is connected to the VF, and that VF is from R2. R2 is connected to the VF. Okay, so whenever I'm talking about VD, in that time, of course, having the relation V1 minus V2. Sorry, V2 minus V1 according to the terminal. Okay, but V2 is equals to VF, so we can write V1, sorry, V2, VF minus V1 for the for our positive Schmitt triggering. Because of the R2 is connected to the positive terminal, that's why the name is the positive Schmitt trigger also. So in term inverting op amp, there is a relation for the inverting ideal op amp. There is a relation V naught is equals to minus A V naught V in. Of course, V in is why is V in is negative. The condition is considering that input is more as compared to the output. Of course, it is more because we are getting the less output as a VF. That's why it comes negative. Okay, so the equation is like that. V naught is equals to V minus V I O L A I O L V in. uh, V actually A I O L is nothing but voltage gain. That means whenever you're designing Schmitt trigger, there is a voltage gain, and that voltage gain is nothing but V naught upon V output upon V in, and that is depends on the output and input only. So the open loop gain, actually OL stands for open loop gain because we are considering only for the ideal condition. We are not considering practical condition. That's why OL is written here. Then next is in inverting Schmitt trigger. The above equation, this equation is for only inverting op amp. Means for ideal condition of op amp, the equation stand for like this. And for the inverting Schmitt trigger, the equation is like this. V naught is equals to AOL in bracket VF minus V in. Okay, I already told you there VD is equals to VF minus V in because VF is positive and V in is negative. Okay, so the equation is like that. AOL is equals to AOL VD, and VD is nothing but VF minus VF minus V. Okay, so this is the standard equation for your Schmidt trigger. Now Schmidt trigger, of course everyone I think so know how to apply the voltage divider rule. Can anyone please reply me what do you mean by voltage divider rule or current divider rule? Current, yes, please reply me according to you what is the statement for voltage divider rule? Anyone knows?
And actually, the N terminal voltage is divided when the is break between the end and the start point.
If I'm saying that, please apply the voltage divider rule to the R1 and R2. And why I want to voltage, of course, you already written here voltage divider rule. I want the equation for VF. How should you apply? कैसे apply करोगे एक voltage divider rule to the Schmidt trigger? Having idea or not? Please let me know. Otherwise, I will explain you.
No, ma'am, you can explain.
Okay, in network analysis, it is covered, I think. Okay, in voltage divider rule, there is a basic rule. If we want the voltage across R1, so the voltage across the R1 is VF is equals to total voltage. Of course, total voltage is your output voltage multiplied by resistance across that means what resistance means R1 we required R1 voltage, that's why we multiplied by R1 and divided by total resistance. Okay, in current division rule we get the opposite resistance divided by total resistance multiplied by total current. Similarly, in similar way for the voltage divider rule, it is like that across that element that we have to take as a numerator and divided the total resistance multiplied by total voltage. So this is your total divider rule. Okay, so R1 is a of course R1 is required VF. Of course, voltage across R1 is nothing but your VF. Then the rule is like that: VF is equals to V out multiplied by R1 by R1 plus R2. Of course, V out is depends on your two terminals only. Which one is V saturation plus V saturation and minus V saturation. Only that two limits the equation is vary and we get the output relation for the Schmidt trigger. Okay, so see here whenever I'm saying that the output is equals to VF is equals to upper threshold voltage. So there is a relation between the value of the EV in that pose the output to make the transition from plus to minus V saturation. Okay, when our upper threshold voltage comes in the picture, in that time voltage, of course, input voltage is goes from the positive to negative V saturation. Or whenever we talk in lower threshold voltage, the input voltage is varies from negative to plus V saturation. Please remember this one. This is a condition for the Schmidt trigger. Okay, so V output is equal. So I have already written here. V output is equals to plus V saturation. In that time, VF is equals to VUT means UT stand for the upper threshold voltage. So UT is equals to VUT is equals to V saturation into R1 divided by R1 plus R2. Similarly, way we can calculate the VLT. The equation is same, just in place of plus V saturation, we have to return that minus V saturation multiplied by R1 divided by R1 plus R2. You can see here also I am written that equation also. Okay, this is the equation for the LT, where the lower condition, for the lower threshold voltage condition, we in that force the output to make transaction from minus to plus V saturation. Okay, so this is the advantage of our Schmidt trigger. So we can vary the input waveform. We can force the input to go from plus V saturation to minus V saturation, or minus V saturation to plus V saturation. Okay, so yes, there is a working of the Smith trigger. Of course, in Smith trigger we get the hysteresis losses, we get the square wave as an output. So there is a condition of the some. There are the initial condition for your Smith trigger. As soon as V in is greater than V UT, means upper threshold voltage से ज़्यादा हो जाता है input voltage. In that time, the difference between the input and VD is negative. That's why the equation is like that. V output is equals to minus AOL VD. Means what? I have already told you कि if V out is equals to minus V saturation, in that time up lower threshold voltage is work. And if you saying that the lower threshold if you is saying that the upper threshold voltage is less than V in that time upper its opposite goes out. Okay, so this is the equation, and this is the output is equal to V saturation. So VLT is equals to this happen the equation V in is greater than VLT and VD is again negative. Okay, this equation is occurred by using this relation only, and we get the output equation like this. Yes, by using that configuration positive, negative, negative, positive, we have to design the we have to design the our waveforms. Okay, so you have to see here. I already told you we have to we are actually configuring for the inverting Smith trigger. That's why I'm already told you in Smith trigger in negative sorry inverting Smith trigger we get the 180-degree phase shift at the output. Okay, so you can see here sine wave is provided here, and we are going to compare with the upper threshold voltage and lower threshold voltage. So here is a upper threshold voltage for the reference point of view. Here is a upper threshold voltage and here is a lower threshold voltage. By using this condition, we have to design this output waveform, this curve wave waveform, and we get the output like this. Also, we can perform this practical by using the breadboard, and we have to see by analog circuit, and this type of waveform is visible in the practical lens also. So you have to see here this point is the upper threshold voltage. In this point, the upper threshold voltage. That's why that for that person or percentage we get the positive. But whenever this positive sine wave is positive, the output is negative. And if there is a negative as an input, then in that time output is positive. So that is why it's called as a inverting Smith trigger. Okay, by using this relation, V in is less than VUT and V greater than, we have to draw this type of output waveform for the inverting Smith trigger. Okay, this is only inverting Smith trigger. This is not a kind of non-inverting Smith trigger. Okay, so I think please try to design similar way non-inverting Smith trigger. Just the change is like that. For the non-inverting Smith trigger, we called as a negative feedback loop, because in that time R2 is connected to the negative terminal, and supply is given to the positive terminal. So this is the minute change in your circuit diagram. And if I am yes, I am already saying that it is a non-inverting Smith trigger. So in non-inverting Smith trigger, for positive portion we get the positive output, for the negative portion we get the negative output. This is the change for your non-inverting Smith trigger. Okay, then here is of course, sample and hold circuit in your syllabus also having this topic, sample and hold circuit. Of course, we require sample and hold circuit because according to the requirement, we can change we can sample the switches according to our requirement. But for that requirement, we required some control signals to sample or hold the circuit diagram. You can see here one of the V in is present and one of the output is present. In between, capacitor is connected. Okay, and one of the switch is connected to the two line between the capacitor and input. Why? Because by using this control signal, we can charge or discharge our capacitor. Okay. So of course, whenever I'm talking in digital electronics, whenever I'm talking on or analog or power electronics point of view, the switches consist of the MOSFET, BJT or semiconductor devices. So for designing purpose of this type of circuit, we required MOSFET, BJT, and many numbers of semiconductor devices which is provided in our market. Okay, so this is the basic diagram. Is of course, by using this circuit diagram, you can see here when switch is closed, in that time capacitor is charged, and when switch is open, capacitor get discharged. Okay, so this is the basic idea about sample and hold circuit. Next is your sample and hold circuit using op-amp. Of course, metrically started, so op-amp is coming into picture, and here is a two. We are using two op-amp. One is the input buffer, and one is your output buffer. The combination of input buffer and output buffer is combined by using one of the switch. Okay, so input buffer are used to load the capacitor, but output buffer cannot load the capacitor, because whenever I'm saying that basic sampling diagram, in that time, of course, if we are operating V in, of course, if we are giving the V in to the op amp, in that time we have to trigger to the MOSFET. Of course, MOSFET require triggering, and that triggering is nothing but your control voltage. Okay, and that triggering method you already studied in power electronics. There are the number of triggering method, PWM, space vector. All these types are the triggering method for the MOSFET, IGBTs, BJTs. Okay, so we can use that PWM technique or space vector or random PWM techniques for the triggering of the MOSFET or semiconductor devices. So control voltage is used to trigger the MOSFET. If you trigger the MOSFET, in that time the switch is closed, and because of switch is closed, in that time Vin is applied, and because Vin is applied to the op amp, and capacitor get charged. Okay, so now capacitor get charged but cannot discharge. We have to and because we are just sampling or holding the time. Okay, sampling is what we are giving the control voltage to the MOSFET. For that means we are giving the sample time to the MOSFET. Okay, now MOSFET is operating, that's why the V in is equals to VC. Okay, V in is equals to VC, and capacitor get charges, but it cannot discharge it. It holds their energy to itself, and when the next sample is come to the picture, in that time the capacitor get discharging and input buffer are operated. So this is the basic circuit diagram for the sample and hold using the op amp. Okay, so we can use this sample and hold circuit in your PWM technique or space vector also for triggering uh, any of the system. Okay, power electronic system or inverter or converter. So this is basic knowledge about sample and hold circuit. And application is also, I am already told you, you can use in your PWM technique as a triggering circuit for your triggering the power electronic circuits. Okay, so this is the basic concept of your sample and hold circuit. Uh, the waveform for the sample and hold circuit is like that. We are giving the input. There is a V output. Of course, common input is for the your only MOSFET, that consists of the TS and TH. TH is stand for the sampling time, and TH is stand for the holding time. Then the total time is Vs plus Vh. Okay, so like this we have to get the output. V naught is equals to Vc, means what? Whenever the capacitor is discharging, in that time V naught is equals to Vc. Of course, so the relation is like that. V naught is equals to Vc. We getting the output from Vc's point of view. Here is a Vc, so we get the output like sine wave from for some time. When the time is hold, when the sampling is not provided to the your system, in that time capacitor hold the charge, and then it discharge for next sample time. Then again it's hold the charge, and then again discharge. This way the output waveform we get for the sample and hold circuit. Okay, so for the exam point of view, that's it. Then yes, VCOs. Yes, VCO stand for the voltage control oscillator. Okay, you already know about oscillators. This is the voltage control oscillator. We get the output as we required in the oscillator. There is a combination of the passive resistance For that, from that we get the output as a square wave, sine wave, as a we are designing the circuit diagram. Okay, so this is the control voltage, VCC, VCO, and output. Of course, VCO is nothing but your op amp circuit, and in that op amp we required passive elements also. So of course, in oscillator we get the frequency as a output because it is a time based output. So we giving the DC in voltage and to the oscillator, and we get the frequency as a output. For that purpose, we required variable resistance and variable capacitors. For designing the oscillators, we required number of passive elements. So this is the basic oscillator, and by using this basic oscillator, we design the VCO, and that VCO stand for voltage control VCO, voltage controlled oscillator. In this voltage control oscillator, actually ADC to VD, A to D and D to A converter are used. For that A to D converter, we required microcontroller or any devices. So by using microcontroller, we converted into digital to analog converter, and by using that digital to analog converter, we get the output as a V control to the VCO, and from that we get the frequency as the output. So this is the advantage of your voltage control oscillator. So we can by using the microcontroller or by using the number of power electronic devices or advanced controllers, we can design our VCO for the our sakes. Okay, sake. So this is your yes. The range for the VCO is from hertz to gigahertz. We can operate this voltage controller by for the range of some mini hertz to gigahertz. It depends on you, but the range is gigahertz. Then the application of VCO is a phase loop. Yes, PLL. We can use the in PLL. Then function generator. For the in next point, we having the multi vibrator. In that multi vibrator, one of the multi vibrator is monostable multi vibrator. For the triggering purpose of monostable multi vibrator, we required function generator, because in function generator we provided the square wave. Means we required the triggering for to trigger the one of the input of the IC 555. So the application of VCO is like that. So this is the application of VCO. Now next is types of VCO. Of course, harmonic VCO and relaxation oscillator and harmonic oscillator. That harmonic oscillator is again classified into RC, LC oscillator and crystal oscillator. Yes, name itself representing that the oscillator made up of RC, means capacitor and resistance, and then the next is your LC oscillator. That oscillator is made up of our inductor and capacitor, and last is your crystal oscillator. Crystal oscillator is used for your in crystal oscillator is used in your physics. Okay, so this is your the classification of the VCO. Then relaxation oscillator uh, is used in your power electronics components also, where the VCO voltage control oscillator is required. Okay, this is the classification of VCO voltage control oscillator. Yes, your last topic is nothing but your primer pin number. Yes, I'm already in first section. I already asked some of the student. IC 555 is used for what purpose, or timer IC name also. So IC is 555 IC. The 555 IC consists of the 8 pins. Okay, that 8 pin is nothing but one is a ground, second is a trigger, third is output, fourth is reset, five is controlled, six is threshold, then seventh is discharge and VCC. Of course, whenever talking the op amp, there is a VCC is compulsory present in your circuit diagram, and we require the triggering circuit to the multi vibrator. Actually, this timer is used for the multi vibrator, and we are going to use this IC 555 IC used for the stable, monostable, and a bistable multivibrator. So this is the basic circuit diagram. This is a functional block diagram for pin number of pin 555 IC. Yes, this is the structure diagram for your 555 IC. So there are the three parts of the component. There are the three parts of this structure diagram. One is the VCC. You can see over here. One is the VCC. This VCC is nothing but voltage control device. Okay. Of course, we required voltage to operate the system. So that's why we required this VCC circuit diagram. Next is comparator. We require comparator for comparing the two voltages. Of course, we are applying two voltages. One is the threshold voltage and one is the triggering voltage. So that's why here is a comparator are present in the circuit diagram. Then next is your flip-flop circuit. Each and every timer or each and every IC, there is a memory cells provided in the IC. I already told you in sequential circuit diagram, we required the memory cells. That memory cells is consist of the flip-flop, registers, counters. Okay, or and get a combination of combination circuit diagram or logic circuit diagram. So here is a we use the flip-flop as a memory circuit. Okay, next is your transistor. By using this transistor, we can discharge or charge our circuit diagram. Okay, so this is the basic functional diagram of your 555 IC. By using this IC, we have to design stable, monostable by using op-amp, by using any flip-flop, by using any comparator or symmetrical, we can design the stable, monostable multivibrator. Just you have to see the operation of RS, SR flip-flop, and to table you have to carry with you, and then you can see the operation of IC 555 also. Yes, whenever I'm talking about multivibrator, in that time multivibrator is electronic circuit which is used to implement two-state devices like oscillator, timer, and flip-flop. Okay. Uh, Two state means what? In digital electronics, two state means what? Zero and one. Of course, in other word also zeros and one are also called as high or low, high or low. Of course, when I'm talking about high, so high is one, and if I'm saying that low, in that time zero. Okay. So this is the basic of your multi vibrator. So multi-vibrator is nothing but multi-vibrator is designed by using IC 555. So there are the three types of multi-vibrators. One is astable multi-vibrator, monostable multi-vibrator, bistable multi-vibrator. Okay, this the name itself representing how it goes to work. So this is your stable multi-vibrator. We get the two stable state in a stable sorry, we get the only one stable state, that is zeros and one in the form of zeros and one. If we get the one as an output for the whole time, we get the one as an output. Only we apply the trigger, in that time we get the negative cycle for the astable multivibrator. Then a monostable multivibrator, there are the two state. One is a stable and unstable state. That's why it's named it as monostable multivibrator. If we not providing any input, if we not trigger to the transistor, then in that time we get the stable state. And whenever we provide one of the triggering to the circuit, in that time we get the unstable state. Okay, up to what? Up to next triggering angle. Means what? If we don't provide any triggering to the circuit, we get the unstable state so long up to the V saturation provided. Okay, up to the V saturation. If we provide the next triggering, in that time only we get the negative triggering. Unstable state we get for that only. Okay, this is the monostable. Then bistable, of course, bistable means what? There are the two states, zeros and one, and both are provided by triggering your circuit diagram. I show you how to trigger the circuit. Okay, here is a triggering. In IC 555, here is a triggering is provided. That triggering is provided in practical way. How to provide this triggering? By using function generator, we can trigger the circuit. Okay, we can trigger the analog circuit or that pin. Okay, that pin number. Okay, pin number 2 we can trigger by using the functional generator. Okay, so this triggering is provided by according to that. Then of course multi-vibrator or stable, monostable, bistable can be designed by using op-amp, which I already told you. Then transistor or IC 555. Okay, so we can design these we can these three multi-vibrator using this number of components: op-amp, transistor, and IC 555. Thank you. So that's it. Any questions? This is a basic idea about multi-vibrator, and you get the questions only on a multiplexer, demultiplexer, or inverter or non-intense bit trigger, because there are the formulas which is used to calculate our desaturation and minus desaturation. Yes.
Thanks a lot, ma'am.
Any questions or?
Hello. Thank you,
Yes,
Trupti.
yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. It's my pleasure.
Shafiq sir. Hello. Hello, Shafiq sir. Sir, are you there?
Actually, he is busy in some call.
Okay. So you proceed, Beta Musha.
Yes, ma'am. Thanks a lot, Trupti, ma'am, for joining
Okay,
us.
okay. Okay, okay. Should I
Pleasure
leave
meeting you,
the
ma'am.
meeting? Yes, yes. Same here. Thank you, Archana ma'am, especially because of her only I am giving this lecture.
Okay. So much valuable thing. Thank you so much.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Bye.
Bye, bye.